I'm the only Israeli Jew who lives, an Israeli Jewish journalist who covers the occupied territory and occupation from inside. People ask me if I'm not afraid, or how come I don't get killed or haven't gotten killed already. I said, well, 20 years is also kind of statistics, because people say, oh, something can happen to you any moment. Yes, but for 20 years nothing happened. But yes, sometimes I'm afraid, and sometimes there was danger. For example, when Israeli tanks bomb, or Israeli airplanes bomb in an area where I was, that was very frightening. When an Israeli launched missile fell just 10 meters away from the house where I was, it was kind of frightening. You know, sometimes soldiers, very heavily armed, ask me how come I'm not afraid. And I say, yes, I'm afraid of the tanks. No, that's not what I mean, the soldiers say. I say, but that's what I mean. Because I faced a few awkward situations with Palestinians, but I never felt that my life was threatened. Sometimes there was anger that was at the Israeli army, that was directed at me because it was convenient, and I never hide that I'm an Israeli Jew. But it was not something I could not handle. But the 3 times that I really had danger, my life was in danger, was because of settlers, Israeli settlers. Twice, Israeli settlers shot at, not just at me, I was with a group of Palestinians, and they shot at us. They didn't know who I was, luckily, but still it was dangerous. And once I was almost lynched by settlers who heard me complaining to Israeli policemen that they did not intervene in stopping settlers from harassing Palestinians. So the 3 most dangerous situations were in the company of settlers, not Palestinians. So this is my answer about danger and fear and... The settlement construction is indeed going on. It hasn't stopped, it doesn't stop. Actually, the absurd is that with the so-called peace process of the past 20 years, the settlement activity has only grown. And the number of settlers has almost doubled, both in the West Bank and in the area that became Jerusalem, but these are also settlements. And indeed, this is the main, this has turned the solution, or the 2-state solution, almost impossible. If there is no international pressure on Israel, not only to stop, but to withdraw from all these settlements, to dismantle those settlements, there is no chance for a real 2-state solution, that's for sure. The Israelis, there is very little opposition to the settlement activity, because the majority of Israelis benefit from the occupation and benefit from the settlement activity. And this is the sad fact. I would advise, Americans who care. The question what Americans can do, of course, begins with the assumption that America somehow has an influence on Israel. And this is the right impression so far. It might not be for ever. If America does want to still keep, not to be chased out of the Middle East eventually, it has to be an honest broker. And it has not been. It has supported Israel and Israeli expansionism completely. Now, if Americans care for the Israeli Jewish community, they should know that this Israeli Jewish community cannot forever rely on its military supremacy. This is the only thing. So if they really do care, they should encourage Israel, or in a way force Israel, to depend on other things, to things other than military supremacy, and to reach out for the region, not as crusaders, not as a colonial entity, not as an outpost, a Western outpost, but to be neighbors and to be decent neighbors and cooperative neighbors. This is what Israel has completely neglected in doing, if not the opposite, for the past 63 years. And Palestinians could have been an amazing bridge to this world, to the Middle Eastern world. It's not just about America, it's about the safety of the entire world, because we have such a volatile situation in our region that it can inflame almost a total war. And it's awful to say that. I don't believe in governments, I believe in that peoples can have common sense. And the people in America, just as in other places, should regain this common sense that of how wars are dangerous and against the interests of the peoples, not against the interests of big capital, but against the interests of people.